Bitcoin broke new all-time highs today. Let's take a look at that excitement, and then we're going to see where MSTY and MSTR went due to those all-time highs on Bitcoin. Hello my friends, this is Legend. So today we broke that all-time high for Bitcoin, and wow, did we break it. We're going to take a look at that, and we're also going to take a look to see where MSTY stands because of that big movement. Did MSTY move up or is it setting flat? Only one way to tell, and that's to check out the charts. So let's just go ahead and slide right over and check them out. Okay, so here we are on the MSTY chart, and we're looking at the actual movement of the chart here. So you can see we did have a green candle today. Very nice. We're up 26 cents, and that's a 1.22% move for the day. We're sitting at $21.65. Nice. Super excited about that. Looks like we opened at about $21.34. We went as low as $21.29 and as high as $21.65, and of course that is what we closed at for the day as well. And we are creeping back up to that $22 range, and I'm excited about that. Let's switch it over to the adjusted chart and just see what it looks like on that Bollinger Band. Alright, so here we are on the adjusted chart, but let's switch on the Bollinger Band here. And you can see it is widening out, right? Because those candles are just pushing on up. So therefore that midpoint is pushing up as well. We did get some green volume for today. That MACD is moving up and getting a little separation from that signal line. That's a great sign. The momentum bars here, it did increase for the day. And of course our RSI is tilting up. So for MSTY, some nice positive signs. But let's just see where it can possibly go going forward by looking at MSTR. Alright, so here we are on MSTR. And again, what a nice green candle we got today. A huge move up with a 1.52% move up for the day, which equates to about $6.33 move. Love it. Got that green volume bar here. The momentum is increasing. We are getting separation from that signal line right here. And again, like in MSTY, the RSI is moving up as well. We are pushing that Bollinger Band up and spreading out, because the momentum is increasing, therefore it is pushing it on up. So some great signs for MSTR as we opened at 412.57, went as low as 411.20, and as high as 422.40 before closing at 421.74. Some great moves today, nice percentage moves from yesterday, and we did get this green candle here above our previous resistance line. It is living up here. At no point did it touch it, meaning that the wick here, that little piece on the bottom, that's called the wick. You have a wick at bottom and you got a wick on the top, but it did not touch that resistance line. So now this line is becoming a support line now, because previous resistance lines that get broken and then confirmed outside of that becomes a new support line. So now our support line is at that 404 range. Love it. Super excited. And we are moving on up. And we might be getting back into this 430 territory right here as we are coming up, and looks like we might be breaking this area right here. You can see that there's a lot of bars right here, meaning that that is going to be our next resistance line. And we can draw that line in right here, and we'll put it right here at the top of this green bar. So we'll put it about right there. So it's right at the top of that green bar right here. And then we slide over and look, we are right there on it, right? So we are sitting right there at our new resistance line, and our previous, of course, being our support line. But with all this move up, I'm hoping we can just break right on past this and start getting back up here in this 430 territory and just keep on going, right? So excited. This is exciting times, guys. All right, so what is causing all of this to happen? Well, as I stated at the very beginning of the video, Bitcoin is on the move. Let's just take a quick look there. All right, so here we are on Bitcoin. And this was our resistance line right here. Remember that we looked at this yesterday as we were tapping that, right? And then falling back down, and we came up and we kept trying to break it, but kept getting rejected. And then yesterday we did have that breakthrough, and then it's closed at around that 111 that we were at in my last video. And we had mentioned that if we can get a candle the next day or so to live above this, then we can call this previous resistance line now a support line, right? So that close of that 111, today it did open at that 111.1K and went as low as 110.5K. But how high did it go? Let's just see. Well, it looks like it went off the top up here. So let's just scroll on up and up and up and up. I mean, look at this. Oh my goodness. Woo, gracious. This thing shot up to as high as 117.113K. Oh my goodness. This was our previous high over here at this 112, right? That was our previous high that we had mentioned yesterday of that 112.05K. And we were sitting at that 111. And my goodness, look at this. We are currently sitting at 116K. Guys, that's that is crazy, right? This is crazy. That is one heck of a move up. As high as 117 and sitting at 116 currently. Gracious. What a move. So this candle here, once it closes, it will hopefully stay above this previous resistance line unless something just terribly goes wrong, right? But it should close above that. So therefore, this will be our confirmation candle that this line, which was our previous resistance line, is now our new support line. So what is our resistance line now? Well, let's zoom out and see if we can find one. There's a 1-year chart. And as you can see, we don't really have one, do we? We're sitting up here at 117. Why don't we have a resistance? Well, that is because the 117.1K is all-time highs, and therefore there are no resistance lines up here. We are in unknown territory, right? So therefore, there are no resistances up here currently because we've never been in this area before. Now that could cause some to sell off, right? Take some of that profit and cause it to cool down a little bit, but it could then level off and then take back off again. The second thing it could happen is it cool off because there would be a little bit of selling and then trading sideways a little bit before coming back down and then testing the previous resistance, which is now our support line. Test that support line, and then if it bounces off that, then we're off to the races. And this thing can just keep on going, right? So that's the two things I see kind of happening here. Either this is just going to continue riding on up. It can trade sideways a little bit before riding up or coming back down. And then what I'm looking for, if it does come down, is to retest this support line and then bouncing off of it and then taking off. because if it can bounce off of this support line, then that gives that support line some strength, right? And when buyers see that that is a good support line, then they buy into it and they start pushing this thing on up from there. That's what I would love to see. So as you can see here, there's the MACD, and look at that separation. Goodness gracious. It is definitely separated from that signal line. We've got a huge momentum bar, and rightfully so, right? Because of this huge green candle. And then, of course, that RSI is moving on up. Now, notice, it's only sitting at 70, right? That RSI 14 is sitting at 70. So it's getting close to being overbought. But for Bitcoin, I'm even thinking instead of the 3070, like you would do for most stocks and ETFs, because the volatility of Bitcoin, it might be better to use an 80-20. So 80 being overbought and 20 being oversold. But that's just up to you of what you think. In general, it's a 70-30. Anything above the 70 on the RSI is overbought, and anything under 30 is oversold. But what do you think? Do you think Bitcoin should be closer to an 80-20, or do you keep it with the 70-30? Curious of what you think. And it is your preference, but I'd like to get your ideas on that. But this is just some crazy times, guys. 116K currently. I can't even say it enough, right? It is just exciting times. Super excited. Love to see that we've broke out of this channel that we've been in for a little while, right? We've been in this channel here for quite a few days. Almost 2 months, right? It's just been trading within this channel. And then once we broke out of it, boy, did we break out of it. I mean, goodness. Throw in some comments. Let me know what you think. Do you have any Bitcoin? I've got a little bit. I don't have as much as I would like, but I do have some Mr. and MSTY. And as you know and saw, those are doing quite well, as you can see here. So I think I'm going to wrap it up right there. If you don't mind, hit that subscribe button, smash the like button. It'd be much appreciated. And as always, I am not a financial advisor. None of this is financial advice. Please do your own due diligence before you get into any stock plays. And until next time, legend out.